If you would like to send messages to people who engage with your stories, you're going to want to create segments and groups. This is a way to vary up some of the text, and you want to break your message into different segments. And if you're doing a poll, for example, let's say I have LSD post and I want a poll intro. Maybe the intro is going to be the same no matter what. Actually, we'll just do LSD intro. And basically the intro is going to be the first sentence of a paragraph, and it would say something like, thanks for checking out our Facebook story. So I'll actually put that as, thanks for checking out my Facebook story. I'll do an exclamation mark, and I'm going to copy that. And what we're going to do is we're going to add that as a block. And what we want this to do is pick from different ones, so that if you have 100 people that you're going to message back from this, they don't all get the exact same message. Facebook doesn't like that. So let's do another one here, and we'll change this a little bit, and it'll say, thank you for checking out my recent Facebook story. Just a little bit different, right? Add. Let's make this one different. We can put their first name in there. Okay, thanks for checking out my, thanks for looking at, let's do, and I would type a half a dozen or so of these. For the purposes of the training video here, I'm not going to do that. And scroll down and hit create. So that's a segment. Now this paragraph should have other things in it, right? So let's do another one. So we've said, hey, thanks for checking it out. Maybe this is someone who has answered a poll with yes. All right. And what we want to say is, glad you checked yes. Right? This is very specific, lets them know that you've actually looked at what they did and are responding to that specific thing. And we'll call this yes 1, because I may have a couple of things I'm going to tell the yes people. All right, glad you checked yes. I'll copy that, and we'll do that and put glad you selected. We'll add it. We'll do I see you checked yes. And maybe we'll do I see you selected, right? Very subtle differences, but when Facebook's looking at what you're sending, they're not all exactly the same, even though they give the same meaning. Okay, we'll hit create. I don't know why all those are in the background. Let's get rid of those. Now we have to go back here. Okay, so yes 1. Now let's do a LSD poll. Okay, these are again people who said yes, and we'll put 2. So after we've said what they did, whoops, that's the title, right? After we see what they'll do, we will add some blocks for that. So we've said, hey, thanks for viewing the poll. I see you selected yes. If you'd like more info, let me know. Okay, I don't want to give a link out here. You could give a link and say, hey, check this out for more info. But these are people who say they know what they're doing in the particular one that I'm going to use as an example. So we'll copy that and we'll hit add. If you like, let's do, if you're not already using our LSD software and would like more info, like some info, let me know. We'll add that. We'll just leave this one at 2 for example purposes. Create. And we'll just leave it like that because we're asking for more info. Now let's do a segment for people who selected no, right? So we'll do LSD no 1, and we'll put something like, I see you selected no. And even though these aren't really yes and no's, that's okay. And you'll see what I mean in the example. Add. I see you checked. And again, I'm going to speed this up for purposes of the training. Normally I would put a bunch of selections, and then I'll do create segment LSD no 2. This will be the last thing here. if you'd like some info, let me know. Let's do if you want. Remember, these people took time to respond. They're interested in something or they wouldn't have engaged at all. If you want any info, let me know. Let's change this up and do let me know if you have any questions. Add, create. Now what we want to do is we want to go in and create these groups, right? So we're going to create a group for people who answer yes. And what we want to say for them, okay, is we want to insert a message segment. So we want to do the intro, and then we want to put the first part of the yes poll and then the second part of the yes poll. And what will happen is this software, let's create this. Oh, whoops, we have to add it and then create it. What will happen here in this group, let me just open this up so you can see it a little better. Right, so it's the software is going to randomly select one of the selections from this segment, one of the selections from this, and one of this, and create a paragraph, and they'll all be a little bit different. Okay, so we want to do the same thing now for people who say no. So I'll do LSD no, and that's going to be very similar. It'll still have the same intro. It'll have the no 1, and then it'll have the no 2, and we'll add that and we'll create that. Now we might want one for people who just viewed it, okay? And all we need to do there, we're just thanking them for seeing the story, right? So their entire message group can be the intro segment. That's it. They don't need anything else, okay? Oh, I need to have a name here. So this will be LSD view only, right? Create. Okay, so now we have a set for people who checked yes, people who checked no, and people who only viewed, okay? So that's kind of it. Now what we can do, I'll show you how to use these segments in another video. This is just how to build the segments and build the groups, and I'll do another video showing how to add these into a particular story.